Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle. This is a loose sequel to obviously the original Jumanji movie made in like the 90s, I think, roughly year-wise. Obviously starting Robin Williams. I've seen the movie. I haven't seen the movie. Not sure about the year, but this is a loose sequel, and I say loose, very loose sequel, and it is basically an adaptation where they've turned it into a video game, and these characters, these four young teenagers, get zapped into the game, and they have to play their game. They have to play the real life game. They have to become Jumanji, but they get turned into the avatars they selected, and those avatars are played by Dwayne Johnson, Kevin Hart, Karen Gillan, and Jack Black. I nearly forgot Jack Black because he was tremendous. Spoiler, he was tremendous. But this movie, I was very skeptical. I mean, obviously I was skeptical when I saw this trailer. I was like, okay, so yes, it's a sequel that no one really asked for, but you know, it's gonna be risky. And I did like what they did with this movie. They took a very unique spin on it. They didn't just go, oh yeah, it's the exact same thing, but we're gonna modernize it by making a video game. They actually did some really cool video game stuff in the Jumanji world. They actually made people talk like, you know, video game characters. So a character, one of the main characters would ask someone in the game a question, and they just keep saying the same thing over and over again because that's what they're programmed to do. And I really like that aspect of the game settings, and they had their lives and all that stuff, and they really committed to the game aspect, which I really enjoyed. Now, performance-wise, I talked about Jack Black, and I really thought it was going to be annoying. I'm like, he's playing, you know, he's a hot girl, and she's gone into a body. She's like an Instagram lover and blah blah blah. He's gone into the body, and I thought it was going to be really annoying. It wasn't. He was one of my favorite parts of the movie, if not my favorite part of the movie. He was very, very, very funny. He did it very, very well. Dwayne Johnson, another one. You could really see the scaredness into the you know, nerdy, scrawny teenager in him, and you saw that come out. And he wasn't just The Rock; he was The Rock, his body with a scrawny teenager. Karen Gillan, I really enjoyed. I think she came out a little bit of an awkwardness, but a hot awkwardness at the same time, because she's a very attractive lady, obviously, but she's got the awkward teenager inside of her, and I really think they did that. Kevin Hart, he played himself. I can understand what they were, you know, because they are very similar people, with the guy, you know, playing a big black jock, because then he's a smaller, and he kept complaining about his height, but a majority of movies Kevin Hart complains about his height anyway, so it's kind of the same thing, so it wasn't great there. But this movie was really enjoyable. It actually had a lot of laughs with this movie. I got, you know, just not, I wouldn't say glued to the screen, but I really enjoyed when they did stuff. It wasn't a movie that I'm going to talk about how amazingly perfect it is, but I had a lot of fun with this movie. When it made me laugh, it made me enjoy the action scenes, which were really cool action scenes, video game action scenes, and they really did some cool things in this movie. And yes, there were some flaws. I mean, the villain in this movie, I literally forgot about at one point. I was like, oh yeah, they can do that, and they're good. I'm like, oh wait, the villain is going to probably stop them, weren't he? And I kind of forgot he even existed, and not Bobby Cannavale is, you know, it wasn't his performance or anything, but I just think they kind of forgot about him, and, you know, whether they deliberately did that or I don't know, but as a villain goes, he was definitely very forgettable. But the rest of this movie was a lot of fun. Yes, there were some things, if you look into it, maybe like, you know, why is there stuff going on outside the main characters? Like, this is the game, so there not be no other stuff going on. But other than that, I think this movie was really enjoyable. I mean, again, it is just a fun family video game movie, so you don't want to look too deep into it. And I think if you do and you start picking apart this movie, you'll find some stuff you don't like. But if you can sit there and go, okay, I've got The Rock, I've got Kevin Hart, I've got Jack Black and Karen Gillan, Nick Jonas as well, and they're going to do some fun shit on the screen, I can enjoy myself. And I think the four guys that watched the movie would all really enjoyed it as well, because they just took it in and just had some fun with this movie. And I definitely did that as well. And I definitely say that I go back and watch this and enjoy this movie, because it is a fun time. I've talked about that, and that's really all it is. I can't talk about how deep the characters were or how deep the story or anything was, because it wasn't. It was very surface, but it worked on the surface. I'm giving Jumanji a B-. Thank you guys for watching my review of Jumanji. I'm trying to wear my like palm tree shirt for this one. I don't know if you guys could notice that, but I'll put a little bit of a Welcome to the Jungle spin on it. I know it's not green, but I have some really cool stuff coming out early January. I'm going to have a few lists, like top 10 best, top 10 worst, and stuff just spitting out list wise, and then I got some Blu-ray updates and some reviews as always. So plenty of stuff coming. You guys can subscribe, as I said. You can like, you can comment your thoughts on the review or the movie. And of course, have a good one.